West Indies have won the World T20 crown, beating host Sri Lanka by 36 runs, a huge margin that in a T20 game for the first ICC trophy, their crown, and of course the first World Cup win for them since 1979. Now, as expected, it was a Caribbean-style party that broke out on the pitch as soon as the last wicket fell. Chris Gayle and company joyous in their celebrations, doing the Gangnam dance, and the party had well and truly begun in Colombo. It was commendable, of course, this victory for the Windies after falling much short of a target that they would have liked. Some inspired bowling and good work on the field took them to the title. Sri Lanka, spare a thought for them. 4 finals they've made it to and not been able to cross the finish line. Are they the new chokers in world cricket? We'll ask Nikhil Chopra that. But massive troubles of their own, restricting West Indies first to a manageable 137 for 6, but completely losing the plot from that point on, losing Dilshan for a duck. Jayawardene and Sangakkara steadied the innings, the two war horses for the Lankans, but just couldn't do enough. The Windies bowlers kept the pressure up, 2 run-outs affected, the Lankan batters completely imploding, and Kulasekara there coming on, trying to play a brave knock, but a little too late for the home side. The Lankans losing their 4th successive ICC tournament final, this one at home. The agony, the misery really piling on. Sunil Narine once again spinning his well for the Windies with the ball. Great economy of 2.45. Darren Sammy, the captain, chipping in with the runs, also being very economical with his bowling efforts. Now with the bat as well, it wasn't the usual heroes. It wasn't Chris Gayle who got the runs going. There were quite a few close calls for him, and then he eventually was given LBW as well. It was Marlon Samuels who took the charge to the Sri Lankans and ensured that there was quite a few runs to play with at the end of the day. Nikhil Chopra just summed this up for us. What a win this, and what a time for it to come for the West Indies as well.
Well, absolutely fantastic. And looking at that side, one got that feeling this team had it in them to go out there and be world champions in the T20 format. You look at the number of match winners in terms of guys who could win you a game with the bat, win you a game with the ball on their given day. Whether it was Chris Gayle, whether it was Marlon Samuels, Bravo, Kiran Pollard. You look at Sunil Narine, the way he's been bowling. He made his name from the IPL in the T20 version. If you can't pick him out of the hand, you're most certainly not going to pick him out of the wicket once it pitches. So that regard, I think from here on, West Indies can probably resurrect their cricket. And it was good to see, that West Indies has finally won. Here, there was a team that complete domination for a long period of time. And then unfortunately, with pay disputes, guys not coming through the ranks, yes, a lot of people stopped playing cricket in the West Indies. But this, I hope, will inspire many of those youngsters to go out there, pick up a cricket bat or a cricket ball.
And the other thing I was talking about with you off air as well was the fact that it wasn't a Chris Gayle show, so to speak. Had that happened, we would have said, okay, this is again, perhaps a one-man display. But it's good that even their batting effort, so to speak, collapsed. I mean, it wasn't even 150 on board, but it was a collective team unit which saw them cross the line.
There was a celebration. That tells you unity in the side, camaraderie in the side. You feel for each other. You're absolutely right. It wasn't just about one man. Though I felt that Chris Gayle was the one big factor.
Yes.
Would run away with the game. If he doesn't, then I'm sure the West Indies will find it difficult. But in terms of the unity of the side and belief in the side, fair enough. Their biggest match winner didn't come to the party. What innings Marlon Samuels pulled out of the hat. They were down. They needed to get some sort of runs on the board to get that respectability. Allow the bowlers to give them something to go out there and defend. And what an innings! You don't see Lasith Malinga go for more than 50 in 4 overs in T20 cricket. Not at all. But Marlon Samuels was absolutely fantastic. And then lower down, the captain chipping in. There are a lot of questions asking about him being in the side. Forget about captaincy. But yesterday, he proved a little worth.
And perhaps, the need of the hour for the West Indies is a captain like Darren Sammy, because you have a whole host of flamboyant players, right from their attitude on the pitch to how they play their cricket. Perhaps you need a laid-back captain, and West Indies have had quite a few of them around. Darren Sammy, in that sense, fits the bill.
Put it this way, he brings a little sensibility in that notorious dressing room with people like Chris Gayle, Bravo, all these guys, little pranksters that they are. But of course, when he was made captain, with whatever problems they had, the West Indies cricket board, with their players due to pay disputes and the problems, the players said, we don't want to be captaining on this side. And that's the time where Darren Sammy says, well, I'll take on the responsibility.
Yes.
And it was difficult. because they lost quite a few matches. Their star players were not in the 11. They didn't want to come to play for the West Indies. But here's a man who believed in whatever resources was given to him, and he's taken the team forward.